The half-hour Cuse Countdown shows are over, but we still got you covered on the web throughout the rest of SU men's lacrosse season alongside Kevin Case and Marcus White. I'm Jay Alter. The ACC tournament is over, but Colgate coming this week. SU, the winners of that conference crown. How do they use that momentum going forward?
Well, they're going to have to use it to keep themselves focused in this game. It's a little bit of a drop-off going from the ACC tournament to playing a team like Colgate. But unlike in years past, this Colgate team is actually pretty good and could give SU a tough test this weekend.
That's right, Jay. Don't throw aside the Red Raiders. They just won the Patriot League title. Another impressive win over Army, a team that SU struggled with earlier this season. So it could be an interesting game this weekend. We'll have to see.
Well, SU is not the only team in this contest coming in hot. Let's take a look at Colgate, the winners of the Patriot League. Like you said, Marcus, I mean, this is scorching, much like sports director Tim Langlois at the beach.
They've really had to be in an impressive run of form, kind of like Tim's on-air appearances down the stretch here. But
absolutely.
I think Colgate, one of the most impressive things from them this year as opposed to last year, they have 6 20-point scorers on their team. That's actually more than Syracuse. Some of that probably has to do with the fact that they're playing in the Patriot League, but it's not just Ryan Walsh that the Syracuse Orange will have to worry about this weekend.
Yeah, Colgate has a lot of depth in terms of who scores. Also, they're probably hotter than Tim's Beach Bod. They got 6 wins in the last 6. They're playing well, not just in the Patriot League tournament, but throughout the year.
I was going to take a look. So you look at all the stats, 13th in the country, getting national attention, 6-game winning streak. You mentioned all the guys above 20 goals scored, Patriot League champs. Unfortunately, call me a negative Nancy. I'm looking at the score of last year's game, 19-6. I mean, how much can the teams really change? 13 goals worth?
Well, Desco earlier this week, he did say this was a bit of a different team, and he said this is a Colgate team who's found its stride lately. A lot of, very similar to those Syracuse teams when they didn't have the Ensley Athletic Center, unable to practice outdoors, unable to get their clears and rides down. But down the stretch, they've really gotten a hold of it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, and one stat I saw really interesting. SU's last national title in 2008. Guess who they lost to in the final game of the regular season?
Don't tell me Colgate.
It was Colgate, 12-11. So, hey, SU fans, maybe we need a loss this weekend against Colgate to bring a national title to the Hills.
Too much narrative. All I know is that this game is being treated as a tune-up. The 13th ranked team against the number 1 seed, SU, can lock up the top ranking in the tournament with a win. Before we get to your predictions, I want the X factor for this contest.
My X factor this weekend is Peter McCartney. He's been kind of an unsung hero on the Syracuse defense.
The long stick.
Gotten a lot of tough assignments as that long stick defensive midfielder. Had to guard Miles Jones last week. Did an okay job against him as well as you can expect. I don't think anybody expected to hold him to 1 point again, but McCartney's been a really impressive player for them all season, and with that offensive depth for Colgate, they're going to need him against some of those midfielders.
Well, Jay, I'm going to cheat and take more than one player. I'm going to go with the SU seniors as my X factor.
Fair enough.
There's a lot of older guys on this Syracuse team, and they don't have a national title. I don't think they let SU slip this week. I think they're laser focused. They keep this team laser focused. SU comes out with a big win over Colgate. That's going to be my prediction because of these seniors.
Well, why don't you hinted at it, go for it. What do you got for the score prediction?
Score prediction, I'm going 15-6 Syracuse.
Okay.
SU with a big win over the Red Raiders. The talent disparity is there. As long as SU stays focused, this game's not close.
I have it a little closer than you, but still kind of a big win for Syracuse. I'm going with 13-7 Syracuse over Colgate. I do think Colgate's offensive depth will keep them in the game. And plus, this is a team who beat Army that Syracuse struggled with earlier in the season. I know there's really no transitive property of lacrosse, but I do think that that's something to worry about for Syracuse. And it's a top 15 team, so they're not just going to barrel over. They want revenge for last year's loss. So I think it'll be a little closer, but ultimately, Syracuse just has too much for Colgate.
Well, we know from ACC play that the transitive property certainly does not work. We saw the Duke-SU final last weekend. What a game. Can't wait to get back to those highly competitive national games in the NCAA tournament. But before the Orange can look to do that, got to take care of 13th ranked Colgate at their place. Marcus, you'll be there for Citrus TV. You can follow along for his commentary of all the live action on our Twitter account at Citrus TV Sports, and he'll have a little report up after the game.
I'll do my best, yeah.
I heard Tim's driving.
Tim is driving. Bailey Lipschultz will also be in the car.
45-minute drive?
It's a tough trek. But we're going to find a way to make it there.
Well, Marcus will have you covered for Colgate, and Cuse Countdown will continue to keep you locked and loaded throughout the NCAA tournament coming up in just a week.